Hello, welcome to the Old Time Frame channel. If this is your first time, we would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to follow us in such informative videos about old paintings. And if you like such videos, please follow us often. The streets of Shkodra or Scutari in Albania in 1879, a glimpse of Albania through the eyes of a British artist, an engraving that speaks more than a photograph. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, then this 1879 engraving titled Sketch from Albania, a street scene in Shkodra is worth an entire chapter of vivid, felt, and forgotten history. In this captivating and detailed composition, the British artist Richard Caton Woodville II gives us a rare and authentic glimpse of urban life in late 19th century Shkodra. When Albania was still part of the Ottoman Empire, but this is not just a street with passersby. It is an ethnographic document, a visual poem, a time window into a city that has stood for millennia at the crossroads between East and West. Shkodra, an ancient city with a vibrant soul. Shkodra, or Scutari as foreigners called it, is one of the oldest cities in Albania and the entire Balkans. Founded by the Illyrians, ruled by Romans, Venetians, Ottomans, and later part of modern Albania, Shkodra has not only witnessed history, it has lived it. Set majestically near the lake bearing its name and surrounded by mountains, its fortress and abundant waters, Shkodra was and remains a stronghold of Albanian cultural identity. Where believers, traders, and artists shared the same space in peaceful coexistence. In 1879, when this engraving was made, Shkodra was still under Ottoman rule, but in the heart of an era of change, where centuries-old traditions clashed with emerging European influences. The foreign eye that saw deeper than most, Richard Caton Woodville II, 1856–1927, son of a renowned painter, was one of Victorian England's most talented illustrators. With a fine brush and a keen eye for detail, he traveled to distant lands to bring to Europe rare views of the world, Africa, the Middle East, India, Russia, and Albania. Working for the Illustrated London News, each of his works reflects not only technical skill but also genuine respect and curiosity for the places and people he depicted. A moment frozen in stone and paper. Description of the engraving. In this marvelous engraving, executed with black ink engraving technique, Woodville presents a steep street in Shkodra. Paved with carefully carved stone steps, at the center descends a man wearing traditional northern Albanian dress, distinctive trousers, vest, and jacket. He leads a loaded donkey, perhaps carrying goods from the market. Ascending the steps are two figures, a man similarly dressed and a woman in a long traditional Albanian dress with her head lightly covered. She carries herself with dignity, representing the strength of Albanian women, who were always at the heart of family and economic life. To the right, sitting on the steps, is a tired man, perhaps a beggar or laborer, smoking a cigarette and watching the passers-by with a calm, almost philosophical gaze. On the left appears a Haja with turban and cloak, speaking to a covered woman, perhaps giving religious advice or guidance. The scene is calm but carries the silent tension of society. In the foreground, two seated women, one spinning wool with a distaff, the other guarding several large sacks. They are not just background figures but symbols of women's active role in the market and public life of the time. In the background, a minaret rises tall, like the city's crown, reminding us of Shkodra's spiritual identity and the daily prayers that regulated time. An engraving, a story. Why this work is special? Because it is among the earliest visual and ethnographic portrayals of Albanian life, because it presents a diversity of figures and costumes rarely documented so clearly, because it balances documentary detail with art, a harmony few artists manage to achieve, a vivid memory from a silent era. This engraving is not merely a drawing. It is a mirror that speaks to us. It takes us back to a time when words and photographs were scarce, and only an artist's hand could capture the true spirit of a place. Through this work, we can see, feel, and understand the past life of Albania, through the eyes of a foreigner who saw more deeply than most. One city. One artist. One frozen moment. A story etched in light and shadow. The engraving titled Sketches in Albania, a street scene in Scutari, by Richard Caton Woodville II is currently housed in a private collection. It was originally created for the Illustrated London News and published on May 8, 1880. While the original piece remains in private hands, Reproductions of this artwork are available for purchase through various online platforms. Thank you for being with us on this journey. I remind you not to forget to subscribe and like. See you next time. Thank you.